What's up, everyone? Narakami Woodruff here, and welcome back to What If Deku Was Born in Ruby. Now, from from what I see, that you guys really like this part. Now, right in the comments, three of you guys said yes for Izuku to have a secondary weapon, and I see no one saying no of Izuku getting a weapon. And I see that a lot of you really like the Ruby series. Well, from Rooster Teeth. And now, okay, I'm moving around. Hold on. So I'm gonna have to hold my phone. So to continue, I can see you guys liking, like, seeing Ruby as your favorite show. And for the secondary weapon, I'll show you soon. Now, for Dragon Ball, or for What If Deku was in Future Trunks was born in Future Trunks' timeline. One of you guys wanted me to do Vegeta's daughter, Bola? No, cause at this point, Bola was not born, and I'm not gonna do that. And someone said, Femme Future Trunks? I'd rather keep Future Trunks a male, cause I'd rather keep him with Mai at this point. And no, I'm not gonna give Izuku a harem in this one. And for Izuku's secondary ultimate, I think I'm gonna give him Kamehameha, since Izuku actually. The first attack was Final Shine, and Izuku. Should I give Kamehameha? Nah, I can see, like, there's most characters that have Kamehameha. So I'm gonna think of a attack that will give Izuku a good, well, attack. And I'm thinking of changing the super attacks. Yeah. Now, for the ship, no, actually, for the ship, since I'm gonna be choosing Arissa, Vidal's best friend. Yeah, Vidal's best friend. From what I know in canon, Arissa is older than Future Trunks, so I'm gonna lower her age to so they're gonna be equal, like equal in age. Now for the secondary weapon, which three of you guys said yes, and the secondary weapon will be this pistol with extended mag and the extending blade. It looks really badass. Now, I think. Oh yeah. Comment down below if you guys want me to continue. What if Deku was the Green Ninja? If you do, I need to change the thumbnail for this one. And maybe after I'm making the Ruby video, part 2 of this, I think I'm gonna continue with. I'm gonna make part 4 of What If Deku Was the Unknown Ice Hashira. Since my Demon Slayer ones are really popular. Whoa, was loved. Since you guys really like it. And I'm gonna cancel What If Deku Was a Singer, since I don't want to deal with the copyright stuff. So, yeah. Now, I think that's enough talking, and let's get in to the video. Now, from where we last left off is after the team up with Team Ruby and Izuku. Since Izuku was the only one with no team that he thought he was going to get kicked out. But he was surprised when Ozpin wasn't going to kick him out for the reason because he was impressed by Izuku's skill in leadership and the willing of sacrifice. So, he's letting Izuku stay and to choose which team he would stay with. And the team he chose was Ruby. Team Ruby. In Team Ruby's minds, they were excited. Because they were hoping for Izuku to choose them to be in the team. And when he said Team Ruby, he was excited. They were excited, but not showing it. Well, some others are excited. Blake and Weiss are not showing it. Ruby and Yang were showing. Now, right after everyone left and they both went off to their dorms. Now, when they were walking through the dorms, they were talking to each other, and as soon as they got to the dorms and opened it, they saw of how nice the room was. But there was one problem. There were only 4 beds. Yeah, there were only 4 beds in the room. Which, there were 5 of them. There were 5 of them. Team Ruby and Izuku. Ruby just says, there's only 4 beds in the room. Yang says, well, yeah, this is gonna be a problem. Izuku just says, no, don't worry guys, you guys can sleep on the beds, I can just sleep on the floor. They all said, no, you're sleeping in the bed with one of us. No, wait. No, they all say, no, you're sleeping in the bed with me. Team Ruby just stopped and looked at each other and says, Yang? Yang just says, what do you mean? No, he's gonna sleep in my bed. Oh my god, I'm gonna crack myself up because I'm not. Weiss just says, no, he's gonna join me in bed. No, Ruby just says, no, he's sleeping in my bed with me. Blake just says, no way, he's sleeping in bed with me. Guys, for Izuku, he just says, guys, it's fine, I can just sleep on the floor. No, you're gonna sleep in bed with one of us, which I'm not trying to make it sound weird. So, Yang just suggests, how about we do rock, paper, scissors? And the others agreed. And um, oh, that's not good. There you go. Now they were doing 2 rounds. It was a tie. The last round, let's say that Yang won. And let's also say that Yang always beats people in rock paper scissors. And since Yang won, Izuku is sleeping in her bed with Yang. As soon as Yang won, she said, "Yes! Come on, Izuku, you're sleeping in the bed with me." And Yang just drags him to the bed. So, while the other girls are just jealous and mad that they lost. Yeah. Ruby just says, "No fair, you always win." Well, I'm not trying to act so sassy, so no fair, you always win, Yang. You know no one can beat you in rock paper scissors. Well, Yang just says, "Well, no one, well, no one backed out on it, so it doesn't matter. I win." Now, let's get to bed already. When when the when Ruby, Blake, and Weiss see both Izuku and Yang in bed, and Izuku was embarrassed because he's never slept with a girl before, and Yang cuddled up to him. Well, no, not right now. Like separate. Yeah, separate. No, 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 no. Yeah, let's just say a freaking Yang cuddled up to him and made Izuku even more embarrassed. And the rest were mad, but they just left off the bed. Now, right now, Izuku is having a dream. Dreaming of him with his mother and father, Inko and Hisashi. Dreaming that having a family dinner, and after they and right through this dream, everything changes to see his mother and father as dead corpses. He was sad. He was so shocked that seeing his mother and father dead right in front of him, trying to dead right in front of him, Izuku trying to wake him up, but from but he looks up to see but yeah, wait, after that he sees a man with red hair and a mask on his eye, wearing a black suit and a sword. Izuku looks at the man with pure anger. Izuku went to grab his weapon, but he feels it not there. Izuku looks around, and he looks back at the person. He was right in front of Izuku's face. the person was not talking. Which you already know who this is, but I'm not gonna say the name. Izuku was scared, frightened, thinking that he was about to die. But knowing that he was in a nightmare, it felt like he was going to die. Now, after this, the figure swiftly put out the blade to strike at Izuku. When that strike hit him, Izuku got out of his nightmare, breathing heavily. And he looks around that he was still in the dorm. He looks to his side to see Yang and looks to the other side. Weiss and Ruby and Blake, they were still sleeping. They didn't wake up from Izuku's, forced awake from his nightmare. He looked at the time and it was 5 o'clock. So Izuku got up and wrote her know that he was going to do his morning exercise. He put on his workout clothes and went out. But before he started doing his morning exercise, he was still thinking of how he was gonna find that man with red hair and that mask, so he can get his vengeance on him for killing his mother and father. Izuku decides to put this aside and to do his exercise. And while he was taking this, Izuku was thinking of continuing to finish his secondary weapon, which was this, but he was not done yet. Like, 75% done of the weapon? Yeah. So Izuku, while Izuku was doing his exercise, he put the nightmare and about the getting revenge about the person aside, revenge. And while he's doing his exercise, he's thinking of finishing his weapon. And when Izuku was finished his morning workout, he went back to the dorm. And let's say he brought a towel with him to wipe out the sweat. And when he got back to the dorm, when he opened the door, he sees that Team Ruby were right in front. And, hey guys, oh my god. Izuku says, hey guys, I'm back. Right before he finished, he saw the beds that they were on top of each. On top of each other. Complete mess. He sees that the whole room is decorated, but he sees the beds all messed up. Izuku asks, what happened while I was gone? Ruby answered, well, when me, Blake, and Yang woke up and we saw you gone, and we saw the note that you left that you went to go do your morning exercise. And so me, Blake, and Yang wanted to do a to decorate our room. Since Weiss was not up, I decided to blow the whistle, and everything went in like in canon. They decorated, and we're at this predicament. Izuku says, "Well, I'm gonna fix the beds. You guys get yourselves cleaned up, cause we don't want to be late." So while the others were helping, were going to go change, except Yang wanted to help Izuku, Izuku, I'm sorry, to help fix the beds. Since Ruby did also say that they were gonna make a bunk beds since yeah. So let's say what for the let's say it's like in canon. They just set up the beds like that in the show, where Ruby and Weiss, Ruby's bed is just tied up on top, and yeah. So yeah, after they finish, Izuku look at the time and says, guys, we're gonna be late." Weiss in a panic, dashes right out the door and says, "We're gonna be late." Zuko also runs out the door and says, I am not being late on my first day. Heck no." And Team Juniper was also there, looking out the door and seeing both Izuku and Weiss running out to go to class. After that, Ruby says, "To class!" Ruby, Blake, and Yang ran off. Team Juniper fell, and Jaune ran and said, "We're gonna be late." Now we're gonna time skip of them making it to class, where I kind of forget the dude's name, though. Dude with the mustache. Yeah, I can't remember his name. When he was doing his story, Team Juniper and Team Ruby and Izuku made the class and says, Team Ruby, Team Juniper, you have made it to class. Even though that you were late, I'll excuse it. Now, please take a seat." After Team Ruby, Izuku, and Team Juniper took their seats, the guy with the mustache continues on his story of boring class, which Ruby was goofing off. Ruby was paying attention. No, Weiss was paying attention. Ruby was goofing off. Yang dozed off. I think Blake was reading her book, or also paying attention. I don't know, but and also Izuku's also paying attention to the guy's boring story. So, but we're gonna time skip to the part where the guy with the beard wanted someone to volunteer. Yeah, wanted someone to volunteer on how to town a Grimm, since both Weiss Both Weiss and, well, let's say a lot of people raise their hands and no. Both Izuku and Weiss raised their hands to want to be the volunteers. Since Weiss was chosen, the guy with the mustache says, Weiss, come up. And Izuku, you will wait. I have a special Grimm for you to take down to see. Well, I have a special Grimm for you to take down. Now, Izuku sat back down and Weiss went up. And from when she went to get her rapier and her dress, she went to the front of the classroom. And right in front is where the guy with the mustache has a cage. And when he opened it, from what we see is... Hold on, let me get this. Just remember, I don't remember the Grimm names. From what we see is the Borbask? Borbask. I can't say that name right. Yeah, so when the cage opened, whoops. Yeah, so when the cage opened, the Borbask came out. And like in canon, Weiss was fighting it. And with Ruby trying to tell her how to kill it, and Weiss telling her to shut up, Izuku just tells Weiss, calm yourself. I believe in you. You can do this. Weiss calms down and thanks Izuku, giving him a nice smile. With Izuku, well, leaving on a little blush on his face. And like a kitten, she finished it off and went back to the seat. And with the guy with the mustache says, great job, Weiss. Now, Izuku, go to the locker rooms and get your gear. Now, after Izuku went to go get his gear, which was obviously... Actually, hold on. For the part of Izuku, okay, with Izuku, wait, okay, hold up, pause real quick. Okay, on the part where Izuku was doing his exercise, let's say he was not thinking that about finishing his weapon, his secondary weapon. Let's say that he already finished it and wanted to test it out. And, yeah. So, let's continue on with... Yeah, so let's continue on with the story. Now, while Izuku was done finishing getting his equipment ready, and instead of bringing his main weapon, like it's this, Izuku decided to bring out his new weapon, which is his secondary weapon, the pistol. And he has a couple rounds with different elements. And when Izuku came into the classroom and went to the front, Team Ruby and Team Juniper see Izuku that he doesn't have his other weapon. They see Izuku holding this, what you see in the picture. And let's say he's dual wielding with them, or no, not dual wield. Forget it. And uh, Ruby asked Izuku. Yeah, Ruby asked, "Hey Izuku, where's your other weapon?" Izuku says, "Oh, I just left it in my locker. So, because I wanted to test out my new weapon I have made." With Ruby saying excited, "What? You made that weapon?" "Yeah, I made this weapon. I learned from my father." Hold on, you guys. Let me move real quick. I need to. Ugh, damn it. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to edit that one part out. So now, what was I saying? Yeah. Uh, yeah. I wanted to test out my new weapon I created. With Ruby saying excited. Wait, saying, "What? You created that weapon?" Izuku. No, Ruby excited that Izuku made that weapon. Yeah, Izuku says, "Yeah, I learned from my father." Now, everyone was amazed of that Izuku has made his own weapon. Even though that Ruby went all out with her scythe, Izuku, they were still Ruby was still amazed of how Izuku made his own weapon. Well, second weapon. So, back to the Izuku. The guy with the mustache says, "Alright, Izuku, get yourself ready, 'cause I got a Grimm for you to fight." And for what? He opened the cage to release a Beowolf. But which, I'm gonna put this in, which is an alpha Beowolf, which is more stronger than the weaker ones. This one's the alpha, and let's say it has some white spots on its back, and a bit of bigger claws, and it's bigger. It was bigger than the other Beowulfs. Now, Izuku and the others were shocked of how they see this Beowulf was looking different from the other Beowulfs. Izuku asked, "Sir, I haven't seen this kind of Beowulf before. Where did you get this?" The guy with the mustache says, "Ah, this is an alpha Beowulf, which we have found right in, well, let's say some other forest when they were out hunting, so they decided to capture it." So yeah. So back to the story. No, well, when he was explaining, he says, "Wow, so there are other, there are alphas that are bigger and stronger than the original Grimms." Alright. Alright, Izuku. Get ready. Izuku gets ready in his stance. Alright, ready? Go! the guy with the mustache presses the button to release the alpha Beowolf. And let's say that Izuku, no, let's say the guy with the mustache, before he opened the cage, he set up a barrier. So in case that the Beowulf tries to attack the other students. Now, well, okay, now back to the fight. Well, back to the where the fight was about to begin. When the Alpha Beowulf was released, Izuku grabbed his pistol and started shooting. Started shooting his gun right at the beast. It hit him, but it did very little damage. So Izuku decided to change rounds. He decided to go with ice rounds. So when he put it in, the Beowulf went to Izuku, tried to slash him, but Izuku used his lightning to increase his speed, to dodge out of the way, which Izuku managed to dodge. The beast turned around, growled, but Izuku didn't waste any time and started running and shooting the beast with his ice rounds. It was hitting the beast, some were missing, but it was freezing some part of the beast's body. So, let's say it hit the arm and it broke off. Team Ruby, Team Juniper were cheering for Izuku. And, yeah, so, since that happened, Izuku decided to change changing his pistols to his blade mode, which you see transforming into this. When Izuku transformed his pistol to his blade mode, he still continued shooting some of his ice rounds, and when he ran out of bullets, he he went to go slice the other Grimm's arm off, which immobilized him, but he was still standing. So, Izuku reloaded his pistol to his regular rounds. Yeah, regular rounds. He shot the beast's leg multiple times, which immobilized it. Izuku used his lightning to increase his speed and strength. So he blitzed the beast and slicing the beast's head off. Also slicing it in half. Overkill, I know. And after that, everyone was shocked except for Team Juniper and Ruby of how powerful and skilled Izuku was, of how he was able to take down the Alpha Beowolf. The guy with the mustache was really shocked of how he took down the Alpha Beowolf. Everyone was clapping. They are still shocked. Izuku had a little bit of sweat, but it was tough for him a little bit. Well, it was tough for him, so. The guy with the mustache says, bravo! Bravo, Izuku! You have exceeded my expectations. No wonder Osman kept you in our school. Now, Izuku says, thank you, sir. Now, after that, class was over. Now, everyone was packing up, and for Weiss, she walked out, and Ruby went after her. And when Izuku was done packing, it says, Weiss, Yang, Yang, Blake, I'll see you guys later, okay? Yang says, sure, Izuku, we'll see you later. Now, when Izuku left the classroom, when he was walking, he heard an argument. He looked around the corner to see Weiss arguing with Ruby of how why she got picked the leader of why Osmond picked Ruby as the leader and not Weiss. She was so mad. The talk went like in canon, and after Weiss marched off, why of Izuku walked up behind Ruby and put his hand on her left shoulder and says, "Ruby, it's okay. Osmond did not make a mistake. He made a good choice. But from what Weiss says was wrong. But let me go talk to her, okay?" After Izuku left, Osmond also came up behind her and did the talk like in canon. Now, when Izuku was looking for Weiss, he sees Weiss at a bench sitting down. He walked up to Weiss and asked Weiss, "Weiss, may I sit here?" Weiss let Izuku sit down, and Izuku says, "Weiss, I know you're mad, and I heard everything." And Weiss says, "So you heard everything?" "Yes, but Weiss, I disagree with you." "What? You disagree with me about being a leader? Of how Osmond made a mistake?" "Weiss, Osmond did not make a mistake. He made the right choice, but but why? I'll tell you. From what I see in you is from what I see in you is an attitude of well, how can I say this? Spoiled brat, but that's not what I'm calling you right now. Well, I am saying that, but I'm not calling you that. Like, from what I seen during the day is demanding, well, order. But if you were the leader of Team Ruby, how how would the others feel when you were just ordering around like soldiers or whatever? Yang Weiss was thinking about this and of how the others would feel if you were just ordering them around. Now, Izuku continues that I know Ruby is goofy and maybe young, but Weiss, she. Okay, guys. I'm not good at these like conversations, like, but I'm gonna just continue. I know Ruby is acting goofy, but she can learn. But she can learn from what I saw in our test. From what I saw in our test, Ruby was acting like a leader. I saw of how so much freedom she gives. But if you were to be the leader and just order us around, from what I would have seen, is Team Ruby falling apart. It wouldn't, like, the others wouldn't follow, like, cooperate. Even me. But Weiss. But Weiss, you can change that. Try to be try to be uh shoot try to accept Ruby and Weiss. You are smart, you are beautiful, but let Ruby do let Ruby do her thing. And yeah, and Izuku does the rest of the conversation, trying to like convince her and showing and well complimenting her, letting Weiss blush, and also listening to what Izuku was saying. After he was done talking, we see two people that are behind the tree, which is Ozpin and Ruby, listening to this whole conversation. Well, Izuku talking to Weiss. Now, Izuku then stops talking and says, "Okay, Weiss. Okay, Weiss. I'm done talking. I hope you understand this, okay? And I'm gonna go. Please. Goodbye, Weiss. I'll see you later at the dorms. And maybe I'll sleep in your bed this time." Weiss blushes at the fact that that Izuku's gonna sleep in her bed with him. After now, Izuku walked off, thinking of Weiss, thinking of how Weiss is going to do this. And now Izuku decided to go make him something to eat, or well, yeah. So we're gonna time skip to where Weiss made it back to class. No, made it to the dorms. Yeah, made it to the dorms. So when she made it back to the dorm, she can see Ruby on the bed sleeping. She also sees books and an open book with a pencil in her hand. She can see that Ruby was studying, and that Izuku was right. So Weiss wakes up Ruby and says, "Weiss." And, well, like in canon, Weiss wakes up Ruby and says, like in canon, "And how much sugar does she want in her coffee?" I think from what I heard was 6 sugars. 6 sugars in the coffee. And Weiss also says that answer is wrong. Now, we're gonna time skip. In the morning, Izuku is in bed with Weiss sleeping, and he wakes up early. He went to go take a shower, and he decides to skip doing his early morning workout. and decided to make breakfast for the girls. So he went off, but okay. Wait, I think in part one, Izuku knows that Weiss, no, that Blake was a faunist. So yeah. Now, real quick, Izuku respects the faunist, and every time he sees a faunist getting bullied, he does try to tell the bullies to stop, but he wasn't having it. He hates people that are jerks to the faunist. He respects the faunist. Every time he sees a bully or people hurting the faunist, Izuku steps in, pushes them out of the way, and threatens him to stay away from him. Tries to tell him to respect the faunist. Even though there are the White Fang, these people are not with the White Fang. And after that, well, let's say the faunists have. Well, let's say that the Izuku is famous. Well, is well known. Is well known with the faunist that Izuku was one of the nicest people that respect the faunist. Now, we're gonna go continue the story to when everyone cooked. When Izuku was making their breakfast, obviously he made bacon, eggs, hash browns, and yeah, bacon, eggs, hash browns, and sausage. But for Blake, he gave her one more, a nice, good cooked salmon. And when he went back, he can see everyone awake. He went in the dorm and gave the food to Team Ruby. When when Team Ruby sees the door open, they see Izuku coming in with breakfast. Izuku says, "Here, guys, I got breakfast for you." Everyone was drooling over the food of how delicious it looks. And for Blake, she was very happy to see a nice cooked salmon. So Izuku says, "Alright guys, eat up, get yourselves cleaned up, and so we can get to class, okay?" Now, the time skip after they ate their breakfast and got themselves cleaned up, we're gonna time skip to the part where Jaune was doing a 1v1 with Cardin, the biggest bully in Beacon. Which was he was getting his butt handed to him. And after his aura got to red, Glinda stopped the fight and explained of why Jaune's aura was at the red part, and yeah. So we skip to, but oh wait, Izuku was not happy of how Cardin acts this way to others. So yeah. So we're gonna time skip to lunch. Yeah. Yeah, having a conversation at lunch. And while they were talking, Jaune is with their teammates. Also talking, but also down Wait. Oh wait. Team Ruby and Juniper were in the same table, so yeah. And yeah. Pura says, man. No, Izuku says, man, I hate that Cardin guy. Damn it, hold up. Ah, damn it. Pyrrha looks at John and says, John, are you okay? John says, yeah, I'm fine. Pyrrha says, are you sure? Cause you've been down since Cardin beat you. And he's been bullying you this whole time, this most of the school days. Oh, what? No, he hasn't been bullying me. he, Izuku says, bro, we have been seeing you getting bullied by Cardin. And like in Canada, they've been saying of how John's being bullied, like in the locker, dropping his books when he tripped him. After we're talking, they heard. Hold up. They heard. Ow! Let go! They look at the direction to see a girl with bunny ears. Cardin saying, see, I told you these are real. When they were laughing, Izuku couldn't take it. He doesn't like it when the Faunus are being bullied. So he stood up and walked to Cardin. He says, hey, let's go for her. Cardin says, oh yeah? What you gonna do about it? She's a faunist. I don't care. I don't like it when people bully the faunist. Let go of her now, so I don't want to give you pain. You don't know how it feels. You don't want to know what I do to sorry guys, my phone shut off on me, so yeah, so my phone shut off on me and it cut off, so I'm gonna continue of where Izuku was gonna say. You don't know what I do to people when they bully the faunist, and you don't want to know what I do to them. Oh really? I'd like to see you try. Oh, Izuku was charging up his lightning and says, oh, you had your chance. Izuku charging his lightning, giving him his strength, and punched right into Cardin's face, launching him away. After he did that, he looked at his teammates, and says, you want the same treatment? They know, they shake their heads and no. He says, Good. Now take your friend and leave. After Cardin's team took him away, Izuku went up to the girl with the bunny ears and put out his hand and said, "Are you okay?" The girl with the bunny ears said, "Yeah, I'm fine. Here, let me help you up." The girl with bunny ears grabbed his hand and gets lifted up. The girl with bunny ears says, "Thank you for saving me from those bullies." Izuku says, "It's fine. I don't like it when people bully the honest. I respect them." "Oh, really?" "That's nice of you." Izuku says, "Oh, I forgot to introduce myself. My name is Izuku Midoriya." "Oh, my name is Velvet." "Wait." "Well, hi, Velvet." And they hear a girl screaming out Velvet's name and says, "Velvet! Velvet!" And they see a girl with, from what I think, a brown sweater, I think, with black pants, with glasses and a beret, I think. That one hat that she wears in the show. So she sees Velvet and went up to her and says, "Oh, and by the way, Velvet was also blushing when she saw Izuku's face and how she was saved by him." So the girl with glasses went up to Weiss. No, went up to Velvet and hugged her. Well, Velvet said, "There you are. I was so worried." What were you doing?" Velvet says, "Nothing, Coco. Nothing, Coco. I was just being bullied by Cardin." Coco says, Cardin, that jerk. I hate that guy. Where is he? I'm gonna give him a beating." Velvet says, No. It's fine. Izuku here saved me." Coco looked at Izuku and says, Thank you for saving Velvet from that idiot Cardin." "You're welcome. I don't like it when people bully the honest." "Me either." Alright. The Coco says, "My name is Coco. It's nice to meet you, Izuku. It's nice to meet you too, Coco." Now, Coco says, "Now, we have to go back to our group." Izuku, "Okay, you have a good day." After both Velvet and Coco walked off, Izuku went back to his group, Team Juniper and Team Ruby. And when he got back, Team Juniper and Team Ruby were looking at him in shock of how he saved Velvet. And also how he doesn't hate the Faunest. But he does hate the White Fang. but he respects the fondest. Now, Izuku looked at them, sees them looking at him, and says, "Uh, what are you looking at, guys?" "Oh, nothing. We are just shocked of how you helped that girl." "Well, yeah. I don't like it when people bully the fondest. It gets on my nerves. I was always taught by my parents to respect and help the fondest out. So, yeah, I just don't like bullies." So, after they continue, Izuku wanted to talk to Jaune. Yeah, Izuku wanted to talk to Jaune, about helping him in swordsmanship, since he's been seeing Jaune having a problem. So, he was looking for Jaune, and he sees him talking to Pyrrha. Yeah, he sees him talking to Pyrrha in the balcony. And he overhears them talking. Yeah, he overhears them talking about Jaune faking, like lying to him, or lying about getting into Beacon, and yeah. After they were done talking, uh, Izuku, no, Jaune. Well, Izuku sees Jaune coming out, and Izuku decides to go off. But when Jaune was walking, he hears Cardin. He says, "Well, well, well." And right before he was about to say anything, he just gets decked by Izuku with a full charge punch, knocking the living hell out of him. After Izuku did that, he looks back at Jaune and says, "Jaune, I heard everything." Jaune says, "You heard everything? Can you please keep this a secret?" Izuku says, "Yes, I'll keep this a secret. But right before this, I was gonna come and talk to you." Jaune says, "Talk to me? About what?" "I was gonna talk to you about if I can help you in your swordsmanship, so I can help you get better. I can also teach you how teach you about your aura." No, 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 not aura. "Yeah, I was wondering if I can help you with swordsmanship. I can see you having problems." Jaune says, "No, I'm fine." Izuku put his hand on his shoulder and says, "Jaune, I insist. I'm here to help you, my friend. Even Pyrrha is here to help you as well. I can help you get better, Jaune." Besides, don't let Cardin get to you. Okay? Jaune looks at Izuku and says, "Okay, Izuku, you got it. Okay, training starts tomorrow, okay?" Yeah. So, yeah, training starts tomorrow, Jaune. I'll see you later. So, well, let's head back to our dorms, okay? Jaune says, yeah. So they went off to the dorms. Now, yeah. So we're gonna time skip. Oh yeah. Also, is it? Oh wait. Oh yeah. I forgot. I forgot about something. Izuku also talked to him about that, like the team. Like he has his team with them, and what he does is talk. Just yeah, I'm not good with conversation. So yeah. So time skip to the next day, where they're in the forest. Yeah, in the forest. Yeah. So Izuku and the others were listening on Glinda talking about the sap coming out of the tree, and that they wanted to use the jar to collect them. So yeah, to use the jar to collect them. So after that, after she was done talking, everyone went to their respective group. No, Izuku was with Yang. No, no, Izuku was with Blake collecting the honey. Yeah, so, yeah, and they do talk a little bit, like, and Blake asked Izuku of how he knew that she was a faunist. Izuku said, uh, I saw, I saw your bow twitch, so I realized that you were hiding your cat ears. Uh, but I didn't tell anyone. So, but I'm not gonna tell anyone. Besides, you look cute with those cat ears. Blake blushed at the point where Izuku said that she was cute with the cat ears. So yeah, and they heard a few minutes later. They heard screaming. They heard, Ursa, Ursa! Yang grabbed one of the guys and said, "What? Where?" "The Ursa's targeting Cardin." And both Team Ruby, uh, and Pyrrha went off to the direction where Cardin is. And when they got there, they see Jaune as well. That he was gonna fight the Ursa. And Izuku was also there too. But Izuku was thinking of helping them, but he decided to stay back and to see what happens. Jaune was having trouble. He saved Cardin, but he wasn't able. Well, he saved Cardin, but he was having trouble fighting. So, after a few seconds, Jaune was charging in. Yeah, Jaune was charging in to try to finish it off. And everyone sees that Jaune was about to be killed, but from what Izuku sees to his side, is Pyrrha lifting up her hand, seeing that Jaune's shield is lifting up to block the Ursa's claws, which it did, and Jaune managed to finish it off. After he did that, Jaune looked at Cardin and picked him up and says, "Don't ever threaten my team, or one of my teammates. You got it." Izuku went up to Pyrrha and says, "So, your semblance is polarity. You can control metal at your you control metal by moving them." Pyrrha was shocked at how Pyrrha, Ruby, and Weiss were shocked of how Izuku can figure out Pyrrha's semblance. So, yeah. Yeah, so so after that happened, they are at the dorms. Well, they did talk a little bit, but I'm just gonna skip to the dorms. So, since it's been a long day after the incident, so yeah. So, Team Ruby and Izuku were talking, and yeah. Okay, I've been saying yeah a lot. So, if it. Yeah, I did it again. My bad. So, back to the story. After they were talking, Izuku decided like do some upgrades to his weapon to see how to make him stronger. So yeah, okay, comment down below of how many times I said yeah, because I don't know how many times I said that word. So so after a couple hours of upgrading and talking with his team, it was nighttime and it was time for them to go to sleep. Blake called over Izuku to say, "Come sleep on the bed." And Izuku said okay and went up on the bed. And went to sleep. And in his head, it was something. Well, when they went to sleep, Izuku was in his dream, looking around. And he sees a forest. The same forest where he used to live, well, where his house was. He was wondering why he was dreaming this, but all of a sudden, he sees something. He sees something. He sees some black liquid on the ground. And he sees something coming out of it. He sees a woman that is completely all white with black eyes and with uh, red on him. He says, "Hello, boy." Izuku says, "Who, who are you? Who are you? I don't. How are you in my dream? I don't know you." "You will know soon enough. But by the time, you will find out." Okay, I just went silent for a couple of seconds. You will find out. The woman sends a blade right at Izuku, which pierced him right in the chest, which really forced him to wake up, breathing heavily. Izuku was thinking of who was that? Who? Izuku. Blake hears this and looked at Izuku and says, "Izuku, are you okay?" Izuku looked back at Blake and says, yeah, I'm fine. It's just a nightmare." Okay. Come on, let's try to get some sleep. Let's get back to sleep, okay? Okay. Now, Izuku laid back down to sleep, and Blake decided to cuddle with Izuku to let him know that he is not alone. He has his friends. He has other people with him. That no matter what, he is not alone. Now, this is the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope to see you guys later. Goodbye.